Howdy folks, live from Big Top, Chautauqua, welcome to another episode of Tent Show Radio. I can't believe another year's going around. Is that a Big Top I see there lying on the ground? Ballyhoo. Ah, ballyhoo. Funding support for Tent Show Radio is provided by Travel Wisconsin. Smile a little wider with a Wisconsin getaway. Find mouth-watering dining ideas, must-see attractions, and endless accommodations at travelwisconsin.com or on our app for iPhone and Android. And by Northwoods Brewing of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, dedicated to craft brewing specialty beers including Flop and Crappie, Lil Bandit Brown Ale, and Poplar Porter. NorthwoodsBrewPub.com. And now here's your host of Tent Show Radio, best-selling author, humorist, singer-songwriter, and part-time pig farmer, Michael Perry.
Thank you, Phil, and howdy, Tent Show folks. Oh, it's great to be way up north here under the beautiful blue and pearl gray canvas. This fine, stout tent at the foot of Mount Ashwa Bay, overlooking the ancient waters surrounding the Apostle Islands and just one sailful of breeze away from Shawamigan Bay. The performance you're about to hear is one in a long, long tradition of singing, dancing, and storytelling, performed live and in person beneath this beautiful tent. We keep her pitched from June until the autumn moons, and we'd be most grateful if you choose to join us. You'll find a complete schedule at bigtop.org. We hope you join us, and if you do, when the first note rises from the stage, we think you'll understand why patrons and performers alike love to say, Big Top Chautauqua. It's the Carnegie Hall at Tent Shows. Tonight on Tent Show Radio, we hit the road for a live show in Wausau, Wisconsin, featuring special guests Charlie Parr and Frank Montano, and very special guests, the Wausau Lyric Choir. And later on, during intermission, I'll tell you about a little visit I had last weekend with a gentleman representing the law. Ladies and gentlemen, every now and then over the course of the year, we leave the world of genuine canvas for the world of figurative canvas. And we take Tent Show Radio on the road. The playing and singing and hooting and hollering you'll hear tonight was recorded live in the company of a welcoming and gracious crowd of good folks gathered in Wausau, Wisconsin's stunning Grand Theater. The show kicks off with our very own Blue Canvas Orchestra and singers performing a song about Wisconsin's maritime history. We're not just cows and cheese, you know. And then, and this truly is a rare treat, they'll be joined by the Wausau Lyric Choir, who will flat fly you away. But now, please welcome the Blue Canvas Orchestra.
Drink one down to the longshore town in the wake of the lake trade here not long ago.
Was a time, what a time, season 1892. Half the trade was Ashland, locking through the Sioux. The tonnage ship from here, now dock this in your mind. Twice all other ports on the upper lake combined. Was a day, what a payday in this harbor. A forest of masts along shore. The lake dollar full sailed upbound on the great water highway superior.
Bound roll resting in a bygone day. A vagrant sailor's fancy now bears me away. I will dance down the docks that once stood the shore. We'll go before the captain and the mast once more. Bound for Old Bay City with whistle coming in. Have our fun tonight there on the old East End. We'll meet you down St. Clair Street, the one we used to know. Drink one down to the longshore town in the wake of the lake trade here not long ago.
Carloads of pig iron for the pig iron dock, for the blast furnace west end on the hill. Boilers and parts for the mines and mills, from the parish plant out at Parishville. Quarrymen, size and cut your brownstone. We're going out to Houghton Point to load. The stone all piled up at Ashland, Mr. Prentice says is already sold.
Bound for old Ashland in a bygone day. A vagrant sailor's fancy now bears me away. I will dance down the docks that once stood the shore. We'll go before the captain and the mast once more. Bound for Old Bay City with a whistle coming in. Have our fun tonight there on the old East End. Oh, meet you down St. Clair Street, the one we used to know. Drink one down to the longshore town in the wake of the lake trade here not long ago.
Waney board, cork pine for Liverpool. That's me there, hands on the pole. My mate's on the deck of the Grimsby. Come on down, boys, and hoist him in the hole. That's me now, master on the Hilton, sailing for John Schrader's company, outbound from Ashland for Chicago. 3 days on these freshwater seas.
Tell me, mate, how long before this coal is unloaded? The captain says we're due down below. Rice stock number 2 foreman, Mr. Miller, says 56 hours till you go.
I can still hear the whistle talk, music of the Lake Trades Band. Mill to men, ship to slip, ship to shore. Whistle, tell us where to land.
Bound for old Ashland in a bygone day. A vagrant sailor's fancy now bears me away. I will dance down the docks that once stood the shore. We'll go before the captain and the mast once more. Bound for Old Bay City with a whistle coming in. Have our fun tonight there on the old East End. Oh, meet you down St. Clair Street, the one we used to know. Drink one down to the longshore town in the wake of the lake trade here not long ago. Bound for old Ashland in a bygone day. A vagrant sailor's fancy now bears me away. I will dance down the docks that once stood the shore. We'll go before the captain and the mast once more. Bound for Old Bay City, we'll whistle coming in. Have our fun tonight there on the old East End. Oh, meet you down St. Clair Street, the one we used to know. Drink one down to the longshore town in the wake of the lake trade here not long ago.
Oh, thank you so much. We'd like to invite now the Wausau Lyric Choir to join us. And we're just so thrilled that they agreed to do this. The spirit of volunteerism is not dead, folks. There it is. They're coming up to do this just for the fun of singing, and thank you so much. I did a little bit of an arrangement for a couple of tunes for the band and the choir, and we were just thrilled to hear them when we rehearsed today, because until you do that, you really don't know, you know. They don't know about us and we don't know about them, but you're going to really love this because it came out beautifully. We're going to do a tune about the Mississippi River. It's called Mississippi Flyway, and it's a beautiful tune written by Warren Nelson, and we're going to feature Jack Gunderson again. And I just want to point out that this is Jack Gunderson, and on his other side is Corey Carlson. This is Philip Anich here. This is Tom Mitchell, Jane Alexson on bass, Bruce Bowers on violin, Andy D on guitar, and Bruce Burnside on mandolin and banjo. All right. Well, let's see what we got here.
Dawn on the water top, the fog is burning away. The egg is broken open on a brand new day. On the Mississippi Flyway, Mississippi Flyway, the Mississippi Flyway, Mississippi Flyway, on the Mississippi Flyway, Mississippi Flyway. Here's to all the critters who croak and stroke, who paddle or swim, who rest or nest, who fly by high overhead on the Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. On the Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. Oh, spring is on the wing in the backwater sloughs from the coast of Mexico and the Louisiana bayous up the Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. Up the Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway. Up the Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway.
The blue highway above us, the blue river below.
The wetland under.
Take Creek's Meadows, St. Croix on the Wisconsin side.
25,000 acres once drained, now again wetland.
Sweet summer, spring water, slough, slime, backwater.
The green and the muck and the sand.
And the water spider, skip, lily pond pad.
Bullfrog, croak, cricket, and swan. Swan, God white.
And heron, great blue on one leg.
Feed, minnow and fry, and the pike striking at dusk.
And the perch and the walleye and the old stink carp and catfish.
And great ancient sturgeons spawn still downriver.
Tributaries' mouths open all night.
Feeding the St. Croix.
All day.
All fall come down.
Mink, otter, muskrat eyes, and the beaver tails slap in the evening mist.
Sedge, meadow, willow, alder thickets holding the beautiful hawk-winged
of
names.
The beak birds.
And mammal, reptile, flower, weed, and plant.
And the gill-breathing swimmers and
all the crawlers, waders, leapers, and diggers.
Walkers and flyers in this patch of
first earth. Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway. On the Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway. Oh, on the Mississippi Flyway. The Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway. Mississippi Flyway.
Well, you've been listening to us here. We have a request for you. This is a little tradition that Warren started a long time ago, but this is all about birdsong, and you can tell a lot about where somebody lives by what water's next to them and what birdsong you hear. So we're going to just keep this going for a little while, and what I'd like to ask you is, give me your best bird song. Come on, you can do it. That was beautiful. Thanks a lot.
Let's hear it. It's a beautiful choir.
Let's hear for the choir.
I'd like to thank the choir very much. They're gonna head back to their seats, so give them a hand when they come by you, because that was beautiful.
The Wausau Lyric Choir, ladies and gentlemen, lifting us up and giving us wings. That was beautiful. Our next guest, Frank Montano, is a musician of broad experience. He spent a lifetime playing folk music, country, blues, and composing his own songs. Central to his musical soul is the woodland flute. Frank has become known worldwide for making these flutes, shaping them with his own hands and history, and imbuing them with the history of his ancestors. Please welcome Frank Montano.
Oh, bonjour. Nandanaway Magan. I'm going to start with a flute song here tonight on a flute that I made 30 years ago out of redwood. So this gets some of the sounds of the place where I come from by Lake Superior. one of the issues that's becoming really controversial around the world and the countries is the ownership of water. And of course, the pollution problems that are taking place. So this song was put together about a month and a half ago. When they take away the water, how can it be? When they take away the water from you and me, is this the land of the free? Is this democracy? When they cut down all the trees here, how can we breathe? We need the trees to clean the air for you and me. Is this the land of the free? Is this democracy? When they take the mountain tops in here and cut them down, the land will all become polluted for miles around. Is this the land of the free? Is this democracy? When they take away the water, how can it be? When they take away the water from you and me, is this the land of the free? Is this democracy? Is this democracy? Is this democracy? The land of the free. Is this democracy? Is this the land of the free? Is this democracy? Is this democracy? Is this democracy? Is this democracy? Thank you.
You are listening to Tent Show Radio.
Welcome back to 10 Show Radio, folks, from the backstage dressing room with the one lonely little light bulb burning. There is that moment, after the sheriff's deputy has trailed you attentively over the course of 2 long miles and through the second traffic circle, when you resign yourself to the idea that you are about to make his acquaintance. So I wasn't that surprised when the strobes lit up and we both eased over to the shoulder. Up to that point, it had been a lovely Sunday. I'd loaded our old plow truck, a 94 Silverado, scratched, dinged, and dented, but eminently serviceable and fresh from having the brakes tuned and taillights checked, with fishing gear, a pair of kayaks, and my younger daughter's flowered bicycle, then drove north to meet the rest of the family for a day at the lake. There'd been rain off and on, but not enough to dampen what became an enjoyable outing. Now I was on my way home. I spotted the law enforcement vehicle in my rear view mirror the moment I entered the highway and had thus been driving in classic student driver halo mode. 2 hands on the wheel, 2 miles per hour below the limit, assiduous attention devoted to all blind spots and the much-neglected fog line, signaling my turns with all the piety of a country priest. Of course, driving under this sort of scrutiny puts one in a state of taut attentiveness conducive to involuntary twitches and radical overcorrection, leading to a sudden, inexplicable fear of yanking the wheel straight into oncoming traffic. But I kept it together. So the only thing I could figure was I was being pulled over for subpar kayak strapping. "Sir," said the deputy, now at my elbow, "unless you're a guy on one knee, and the Queen of England is tapping you on the shoulder with the flat side of a sword. Anytime anyone in a uniform addresses you as Sir, you're about to receive disappointing news. Sir, are you aware, even if it is the Queen of England, any sentence predicated by the phrase, are you aware, is also bound to deliver heartbreak. Sir, are you aware that your registration is expired?" Well, I wasn't expecting that. "I had no idea," I said. Absolutely true, and absolutely unbelievable. Let me state for the record that the officer did not roll his eyes, which makes him a better man than I. I'm pathologically absent-minded, but in matters of legality and licensure, I tend to be pretty much the conscientious schoolboy. Still, I suppose I might have overlooked the little blue and white card while assembling last month's bills. "Yes, sir," said the officer. "Since last July." "Almost a year, then," said my internal voice. "That's some professional grade for getting." In my experience, when dealing with an officer of the law, it's best to let your internal voice do most of the talking. With my outer voice, I said, "Wow." While the deputy still had no reason to believe me, I suspect my flabbergasted tone may have nudged him in that direction. "I'm going to have to write you a citation," he said. "What I'd suggest you do is register the vehicle as soon as possible. Then, if you go to court with proof of registration, the district attorney may dismiss the fine." So now I have a court date. In some of the circles I travel, this lends me specific credibility, but I'm not going to overdo my swagger. In fact, based on previous experience, I expect to argue my case while spitting cotton on shaky knees. Oddly enough, the last time I stood within the courthouse in question, it was for a drunk driving case in which I got kicked off the jury for not drinking. Nonetheless, I intend to throw myself at the mercy of Lady Justice, who in this case may be wearing Carhartts. The court date is a month away. Pre-trial publicity is already an issue since any number of my firefighter and ambulance pals monitor the local law enforcement frequencies and are quite unprofessionally delighted with the whole deal. While I consult legal counsel, let's get back to the music. Charlie Parr operates out of Duluth, Minnesota, running his pickup truck all over America, playing and living roots music that is heartfelt, plaintive, and sometimes flat-out thumping. You'll hear folk, you'll hear blues, you'll hear spirituals. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear Charlie Parr.
Right. Well, when I was young, I had a good job and 5 children of my own. Wife drove a brand new Chrysler, we had a 2-story home, and crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Well, when I was old, I lost my job, my children all ran away. Wife's Chrysler that broken down, she run off anyway, crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Well, when I marry, I want to marry an angry girl whose father wants to kill me and her mother lives in a Lyle. She say, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. I had to fix up my old car and head out to the west. You don't go through Thief River Falls, 'cause you're on the way to someplace else. You cry, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. I'm gonna build me a little house out there, the snowmobile boxes and tape, and burn her down to keep me warm. Sleep on top when the sun's out late. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Well, when I marry, I want my wife to be 8 feet tall, so I can climb onto her shoulders and clean the gutters in the fall. She say, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. I lived downtown, had an Uncle Bud used to visit my family, and he'd bring us all souvenirs from his travels out to sea. Cry, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Yeah, but I live in the country now, Bud can't stand all that fresh air, and I wished him all the luck in town. Said we'll meet you there. Cry, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Well, when I marry, my children will be grown, and my wife will live in New York with a husband of her own. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. I rambled all around this land, a little bit in town, bait fish in the pockets of my old hand-me-down. Cry, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Yeah, but I don't know nothing about the world except what's in my head. I can't ramble in one place, I'll ramble in the other instead. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Well, when I marry, I'm gonna miss my wife and son, 'cause I won't be home much, and when I'm home, I'll be gone. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Crying, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Thank you, everybody. That's called On Marrying a Woman with an Uncontrollable Temper. It's an honor to be here, it really is, to see this beautiful place and be on the show. I've listened to the show a lot, and I thought since it's radio, I really wouldn't need to dress up. So I'm sorry, you guys. See all this. I would have worn something nicer if I'd have known y'all were going to be around. Well, take a look at their big house. Bigger than they really needed. He got the dualies on his pickup when the dealer gave him a choice. Well, then he lost his job on the build site. Now he's struggling just to feed his boys. And the red cedar grows, and the red cedar flows, and long after you're gone, it's outlasting you. It's outlasting you. Well, his wife was his high school girl, and they never left this town. Well, it booms and busts and heaves and rusts, but they can't bear to go. Well, now they couldn't go if they wanted to. There ain't no work anywhere anymore. And the red cedar grows, and the red cedar flows, and long after you're gone, it's outlasting you. It's outlasting you. She's been serving drinks down at Bud's. Well, I can't stand to see her there, where the desperate men, they sit and drink and look too long at her legs. Well, he sits home with the kids at night, hides the worry on his face. Well, the red cedar grows, and the red cedar flows, and long after you're gone, it's outlasting you. It's outlasting you. And their kids are getting bigger. They can't play outside like they used to do. You know exactly what's lurking out there. Why, you can see it on the news every night. And the village that it takes to raise our kids, it's afraid to come outside. And the red cedar grows, and the red cedar flows, and long after you're gone, outlasting you. It's outlasting you. Tuesday afternoons are the hardest, when time just seems to stand still. Well, they've piled up quite a few of them now, about 20 years worth of not quite 3 o'clock. Time moves as fast as it ever did. There's nothing you can do to slow it down. And the red cedar you're gone. It's outlasting you. It's outlasting you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. All right, I'll do that's a newer song. I'm gonna do a little older song that I wrote. Still that I wrote. I guess it's not old if I wrote it, because I'm not old. I'm not giving up. My cousin is a few years older than me. He always every time I see him, he's a farmer near Hollandale. Every time I see him, he says, "How old are you now?" And I'm 47. "Oh, you're a pup." 3 years later, I'm still going to be a pup. She's still 3 years older than I am. But that's good. I'm taking that under, seriously. Away. Stan, he used to hop trains, the mag's afraid, now they get their traveling done another way. They just want to make it down south where it's warm. And true friends are hard to find. True friends are hard to find. Well, to get one, you got to be one. Come a guy and I beat a boat forward. He asked my pa didn't want to go, and Stan said we're going all the way to the end. This old guy, he lost his wife and he lost his grip on the rest of his life, and he just drives around now listening to the radio. Talk about true friends. True friends are hard to find. True friends are hard to find. Be around. The old ride, 3 nights sleeping out on the side, eating roadside fruit and coffee and refried beans. Man, when they get to the Gulf, they'll lay on the beach and soak the sun, get used to the heat, and talk about how cold it is up in I Falls. Talk about true friends. True friends are hard to find. True friends are hard to find. To be one, always be around. They're just one big happy family that will cause the whole country, and maybe it ain't true that you have to be alone. Maybe they just drive around, big boats up, and meet your friend when they're down and they're looking. Maybe there's a car out there big enough for us all. True friends are hard to find. True friends are hard to find. Well, I get one, I got to be one, and always be around. True friends are hard to find. True friends you so much, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'll see you later.
They say everything can be replaced, yet every distance is not near. But I remember every face of everyone that put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. They say everybody needs protection. They say everyone must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection someplace so high above that wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Standing next to me in this lonely crowd is a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shout so loud, crying out that he was praying. Sing it with us. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. My light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Thanks for coming out tonight. That's our show.
Tent Show Radio is produced by Tom Fabchance, Philip Anich, Jamie Hansen, and Michael Perry, and is distributed by Public Radio Exchange, prx.org. Tune in next time on your radio, online, or in person. Big Top Summer Show schedule and online ticketing at bigtop.org or by calling 1-888-BIG-TENT. Well, Michael?
Well, folks, that's our show for tonight. We're going to head on down the road and pitch a tent in another town. Drive careful. Can't drive careful, watch out for the other guy. Remember where I come from, and here at Tent Show Radio, nobody ever says goodbye. They just say, well, I suppose.
Funding support for Tent Show Radio is provided by Travel Wisconsin. Smile a little wider with a Wisconsin getaway. Find mouth-watering dining ideas, must-see attractions, and endless accommodations at travelwisconsin.com or on our app for iPhone and Android. And we're brought to you by the Bayfield Chamber and Visitor Bureau, Bayfield, Wisconsin, offering sailing and kayaking among 22 pristine islands, gourmet restaurants, art galleries, and historic lodging. Information online at bayfield.org. And we're brought to you by the Bayfield Inn, located on the shoreline of Lake Superior, proudly hosting Bayfield's visitors for nearly 100 years. Rooftop deck bar and events for all occasions. Online at thebayfieldinn.com.